All right, Bill Lewis here, weekend version. Remember, this show here, the Credit Report with Bill Lewis here, daily form for business and financial news, politics, economic trends, as well as cutting-edge issues, can be heard here on 1470 each and every day at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. special rebroadcast. And of course, through the election time, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 6 o'clock. You know, the queen of Blog Talk Radio used to fill in for me, Jim, on that 6 o'clock version, Sheila Venera here. She would have basically chewed you up and spit you out had you come on the 6 o'clock version of the show.
Well, I'd welcome the opportunity, Bill. Have her give me a call. I'd be happy to be here.
Listen, next up here we got Michael. And did you get all your friends and relatives calling in this morning? Because I got so many calls this morning. Michael, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing today?
Okay. Do you have a question for Jim Lewis, Bill Lewis, or you just called away?
Jim, with you running for the state, for the Attorney General of the state, and hearing your taking your views, I'm happy and I'm not happy with them. And my thing is about the clemency laws and rules. How do you feel about those and the approval rating?
About the clemency laws? Is that what your question is?
Well, I mean, yeah, he asked a question about clemency. I mean, at the end of the day here, you're in favor of medicinal marijuana. You want to work on the death penalty.
All right, let me tell you this. I don't think convicted felons ought to lose their right to vote. Let me say that right away.
Why not?
Simply because they're convicted felon doesn't mean that they don't have something to say about our government.
They did have something to say about our government. They abused the rights, the privileges.
And when they do, we lock them up, Bill, and we take a lot of things away from them, like driver's license. But I don't think we should take away their right to vote. Well, they should be allowed the right to vote in prison.
Why?
Why not? Because they're people. Simply because they made mistakes and they're being punished doesn't mean they shouldn't decide. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say they should
carry firearms.
No, absolutely not.
Why not? I mean,
because it's dangerous. There's nothing dangerous about being able to vote, to exercise your constitutional right. Simply because you make mistakes and you become a criminal.
The guy has an antitrust violation. He scams maybe his boss out of a few $1,000s. He serves his year in jail. You mean he loses his right to hunt and right to, you know?
And he should.
Why?
But he shouldn't lose his right to vote.
What's the difference?
Nobody dies from people voting, Bill, just like marijuana. Nobody dies, okay? Nobody lies and nobody dies.
Nobody dies from marijuana. How about those people that drive while intoxicated, drive while impaired? You know, if you got a couple...
Bill, they're going to do that anyway. They're going to, if they're going to break the law and drive while they're impaired, legalizing marijuana isn't going to change anything.
You're pretty good with that voice there. Since the last time you've been on the show, you've gotten that extra bass in your voice. Did you take hormones this morning?
Not that I know of, Bill. Maybe
we got Eric on the line now. We already got your opinion there. You're not in favor of, you know, the clemency. But Eric, you're on.
No, I am in favor of people being able to vote, even if they're convicted felons, and at least to change it. Not serve on a jury, not carry a firearm.
How about hold elective office?
I don't think that's probably a good idea. Well, because here in Broward County, we got so many public politicians that are going to jail already, and that's one of the things as Attorney General that I'm going to take on is go after public corruption, and not being a Democrat or Republican will allow me to do that.
The next press release, Jim Lewis fighting back on public corruption. You know,
somebody needs to look at the school board members, county commission members going to jail here, and the feds are doing it. The state ought to be doing it. And if I'm the Attorney General of this state, we're not going to just count on the federal government to do their job. These people aren't going to just. The people that abuse the public trust aren't going to end up in some little panty-wasted federal prison camp in North Florida. They're going to see what the inside of a real Florida state prison is like.
But you're advocating setting prisoners free. In fact, you just set some of them free a while back. I mean, this rapist, this strangler, this murderer.
No, I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I get appointed to do cases. I do my job, all right? When I was a prosecutor, I did my job, and that's what will make me.
Strangled a girl. You defended him, and was he acquitted?
Bill, that's one of the, you know, he was acquitted, and I did my best, and the jury did what they had to do. But that, you know, that shows that I've been on both sides of the equation. And as your prosecutor, your Attorney General, I'll see that we train prosecutors so they don't lose cases like that.
Ooh, Jim Lewis blowing smoke and blowing steam. It's Friday. Give it a break. Have another cup of coffee, Joe.
Okay, Bill. Thanks. But
I mean, at the end of the day here, I mean, you don't have a stone's stone's chance in hell of becoming the next Attorney General. Why bother?
Bill, people hit the lottery every day. Things happen.
I got a better chance of getting struck by lightning than you becoming Attorney General.
Oh, God, give that a shot. But let me just tell you, you know, this election, we're going to see some independent candidates get elected. I really believe that, and I think that the independent candidate.
But not Jim Lewis.
Let's hope. Let's hope that people really look past the parties and they look past the money and they look at people's qualifications. If you look at my qualifications as opposed to Dan Bilbao,
by the way,
we're right underneath Governor, I think.
No. We're on the Attorney General bound, because I think, what, Bondi's first and Gelber?
She's Republican, and then Gelber, and then myself. We're all there together, but there's only the three of us, and people are going to have a clear choice. And if they want a candidate who's passionate about what he does, someone who's qualified. I've been a lawyer longer than them.
We got a call from Eric.
All right.
Eric, you're on the line.
Hey, Bill. Thanks.
I was shocked to hear in the gubernatorial debate the other night that I think it was Alice Prince mentioned that there were $2 to $3 billion in Medicaid fraud. Is that something that, Jim, is that something that the Attorney General could do something about, and if so, what?
Absolutely, and Bill McCollum has done a good job in terms of starting that process going. And again, as an independent Attorney General, where I'm not worried about who I'm going to make mad, I'll be able to get in there and make sure we go after those doctors and hospitals, a lot of them here in South Florida, particularly in Dade County, that are cheating us out of this money. If we could close that gap on the Medicare fraud, it would go a long way to balancing the budget. And you know what, as a professional prosecutor, as opposed to the other two opponents in this race, I'll know how to do that from day one. From being in the Attorney General's office.
Pam Bondi was an assistant state attorney for 20 years. Dan Gilbert was a federal prosecutor for a dozen or so years.
Neither of them have the experience that I do on both sides of the aisle.
You haven't been a prosecutor in 18 years. Okay, you've been sitting
I've been in the criminal justice system for 30 years, which is longer than them.
Inmates say they're in the criminal justice system. The point
I've tried more cases than them. I've tried a lot more serious cases than them. You know, I have nothing against Bondi.
But listen, Pam Bondi, okay, in charge of the felony unit, Hillsborough County State's Attorney's Office, you know, a very metropolitan type state's attorney, sort of like
Tampa's
Dave
a
Broward.
real different place. Look, I've got nothing against Miss Bondi's credentials. You know, she wants to say that she's not a politician, but she's certainly learned how to be one quick by taking all these money
But you're a
from special
professional
interests.
politician. You're
But I don't
you're a
take
professional
money.
politician that can't win.
I'm a politician that goes out there and says what I think as opposed to what the special interests want.
10,000 of your own money, 10,000 of campaign contributions, blowing smoke up everyone's ass, and then
coming up with new ideas, Bill, ideas that have come in time. That it's time to legalize pot, so that we quit wasting all this money. That it's time that we rein in some of these death penalty cases around the state. They go on 10 and 20 years.
So you're against the death penalty?
I'm not against the death penalty. Cases like Danny Rawling and Ted Bundy, those people deserve the death penalty. Let me finish, Bill. Let me finish.
You defended
I know, and I'm tired of hearing that. I've defended a lot of people, Bill, and yes, I've freed a lot of people because I'm a good lawyer.
Who's your next door neighbor?
You want a piece of crap lawyer to be Attorney General, Bill, or do you want somebody who's good, that people will respect? That would be me. That would not be the other two people in this race, because I'm a trial lawyer as opposed to them.
How do people contact you, Jim? How do people find out?
Are we at that point already?
Well, we're almost to the end. But don't worry, you know, we're going to allow you to come back on.
I hope so. Every day between now and Election Day would be all right with me.
I'm not looking to lose listeners. I'm looking to gain listeners, okay? The point is here, okay, you know, you have an opportunity to make history as, you know, somebody who is...
That's right, Bill. Let's jump on the wagon. Let's make history. How do you think it would run in the national media? How do you think it would make it if somebody who spent $20,000 beat somebody who spent $2.7 million? What kind of message, maybe it's not going to happen, but what kind of message would that send to the politicians about maybe they shouldn't take money from special interests or lobbyists? Maybe they should get out there and meet the people and not just do television ads talking negative about their opponents and try to influence the election. I don't need money because you know what? Money doesn't vote. People vote. And people, hopefully across this state, are going to make decisions this time based on the quality of their candidates, not how much money they can raise from special interest lobbyists, not how good, credible political consultants that they have can do good TV commercials, okay? I haven't made a TV commercial. This is my TV commercial, Bill. People like you that are good enough to put me on the air, you're my commercial.
I'm losing listeners, Jim. I'm losing listeners.
I hope not, Bill. I hope this is the beginning, that people really will see that it's time to change politics as we know it. Too bad that the media outlets, the
website. This is the chance where you promote yourself.
Sorry, running out of time.
Social networking. How do people contact you? Ooh, Jim Lewis for Florida. I mean, you know, we went from this grape Kool-Aid to the strawberry fruity banana blend with Obama. Now all of a sudden you want to become next AG.
www.jimlewisforflorida.com. That's www.jimlewisforflorida.com. The campaign office is 954-523-7949. We're getting close, folks. Tell everybody you know, get out there and vote.
All right, thanks to the Plantation Journal. Obviously, you can go to plantationjournal.com, pull this up, the video, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and of course throughout the weekend. We'll see if Jim tweets and sends out messages reminding everybody to check out the show. Thanks, Jim. Good luck.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it as always.